Now, though, time to chat to somebody who has been making a difference for far longer than just during the current pandemic. In fact, he's been doing his job for 72 years. And as we've been hearing in the news, today is his last day. This is 86-year-old Peter Harknett, who's retiring as a steeplejack with one last climb up St Giles's Church at Horsted Keynes. And he joins me now. Morning to you, Peter.
Good morning.
Wow. Take me back 72 years. What do you remember about your first day in the job?
Well, I'd climbed a couple of times before with my father, obviously. And, then I started work and just got told off. I got it all wrong. And I was the one who got his ear smacked if the ropes weren't rolled up. Things were hard in them days. I was only, it was just the general, the boy of the job.
A very dangerous job, if you don't mind me saying, Peter. I mean, couldn't you have just got something, sat in an office, maybe an accountant, something like that?
Well, I could have done, I suppose, but you have to be intelligent to do those jobs.
I'm sure you're very intelligent.
If you climb spires, believe me, it's such an interesting job. I wouldn't change if I started again now, which I'd like to. I would still do exactly the same.
Because before you were a steeplejack, I understand you were a rigger for a travelling circus. That must have been fun.
That was in between times. After I did my national service, and when I came out, I thought, do I want to go back and do the same work? So I joined Bertram Mills for as a rigger, yeah. So but I only did the one season and one Olympia with them, and then, of course, I decided to come back into doing this job, which is, being interested in old buildings and restoration and things, you can't get a better job than this.
No, you must have seen some fascinating things throughout your career. Is there one climb in particular that you'll never forget?
No, I don't think so. I think they've all been the same. I mean, I climbed things like the Eiffel Tower, which everything really wonderful, but it just rained all the time, so it's no better than anything else. I've been involved in quite a few. I mean, I worked on, the House of Parliament and things like that. They were quite special.
What were you doing? What were you doing up the Eiffel Tower? Were you fixing something or?
Well, the British steeplejacks always used to maintain the tower in those days. It's going back a few years,
right?
And so we used to go over there and do it. I always remember it one day. There was a picture in the local paper there. And though I didn't read the French, somebody translated it for me, and it just said, only mad dogs and Englishmen would be up there.
That's the thing, though. Is it a sort of vanishing craft, if you like? I imagine, with all the kind of health and safety forms you have to fill in nowadays, I'm surprised they let anyone do it.
Well, it's the safest job in the building industry. And there are more regulations today than when I started. But generally speaking, if you abide by the rules, I mean, roped access people do the things, like they built the Shard in London recently. Now, the LCC, London County Council, are the strictest in the world. And they did that all without any scaffolding at all. And providing it's done properly and organised, it's a very safe job.
But you're attached to something, though, are you?
Well, yeah, a bit of rope off the top of the building.
I mean, you've really got to trust in your equipment, haven't you, and in your colleagues.
Well, the thing is, you put it up yourself.
Right.
Now, self-survival is the strongest instinct. There's no doubt on that one. Mm. And if you don't put it up right, you're going to be a bit of a fool to get into it, aren't you, or onto it, whichever it is.
Yeah. Have you ever had any scary moments though, where you've thought, "Oh, hang on a minute, I've messed up here"?
Well, I've got I walk with a limp and...
So you've had a few falls?
Yeah, you fall off occasionally, but I've been pretty lucky. I've always been fairly careful. I enjoy the job and do it just as a job, and I really, love going to work.
Oh, you're great. You know that. So you're going to do one last climb today at the age of 86. You're going to get on top of that steeple at St Giles's Church. What in Horsted Keynes? What will that moment feel like, knowing that that's the final time?
It'll feel fantastic because it's a very tall, slender spire, really nice, and we've been doing some work on it. and I've just finished gilding the weather vane yesterday, and so I'm going to put the weather vane back on today, and I shall feel, well, I've got to make it my last one. No, I have retired a few times before for a day or two.
Yeah, you're a bit like the Rolling Stones. This really is the last tour, but is it though? But is it, Peter?
I'm better looking than Mick Jagger.
I don't doubt it for a moment.
I've got more wrinkles than he has.
I'm just not sure I'm buying the fact that this is going to be your last ever climb. I don't think you'll be able to leave it behind. I reckon, a year from now, you'll be like, oh, just one more for the road, just one last steeple.
Well, people come up to me, you see, and they offer me. I'm well known, obviously, because I've been doing it for so long. But people come up to me and they offer me interesting jobs. And you think, well, somebody asks you to climb some spire, you've got to go up there.
Well, I'd say no, Peter, to be fair. If someone said to me, see that large spire out there, you fancy it? I'd say, no, you're all right, thank you. But yeah, for you, I can see that this is something that gives you life and keeps you going, which is why I'm not sure that today will be the last climb, but we will wait and watch with interest. Thank you so much, Peter. Listen, will somebody be filming your exploits today?
I've no idea at all because, the church warden's been organised it, so I doubt it very much.
Oh, could you get someone? Could you ask somebody to film you doing it? Because I'd love to see it. I think a lot of our listeners would.
A camera, yes, they would do. But who would they send it to?
If you get someone, if you get someone to film it on their phone, I'll pass you back to producer Sam, and he'll tell you how to get it to us and everything. But it'd be great to put it up on our Facebook page. You could go viral, Peter.
Oh,
you could. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, my friend. Isn't he amazing? 86-year-old Peter Harknett retiring as a steeplejack today with one last climb up St Giles's Church at Horsted Keynes.